Hello, I'm Nathan from Rock Paper Shotgun. As you'll notice, I'm not British. I apologize, I tried. A weird aside, actually. I was technically conceived in England. Kind of proud of that, I guess. But when I asked my parents if I could also be born there, they refused. So here we are. So this is Shadow Warrior. It's a revival of yet another nearly forgotten 90s shooter. But this one's less on the shooting, more on the swordplay. The original also had a whole lot of racism and sexism and pretty much every other kind of ism, but Flying Wild Hog has mostly gotten rid of that, by and large anyway. I'm going to take you through a few early areas of the game just to give you a general idea of how it works and how it plays, because I think it's something that it's a game that people have written a little bit about, but it doesn't really convey what makes the game special. For those of you who don't want to watch a video or hear me talk or anything like that, here's the short version. It's really, really dumb. It's incredibly violent. It's super silly, most of the time self-aware. And yeah, I like it pretty well so far. So with all of that said, let's dive in. The opening is quite a spectacle, so I'm just going to let that play out without saying anything over it, and yeah, enjoy.
You got the touch. You got the power. Yeah.
You got Wang.
Mr. Wang, this is Orotizilla.
I'm sorry. I'm on my way, sir. I can't talk. I'm, pre-visualizing.
Things have changed. You need to bring me the Nobitsuakage. I need it today.
No problem, sir. The guy's gonna sell $2 million for a shitty old sword.
Well, if he doesn't, just get it. Even if things get dirty.
If he doesn't, I need to apply the touch.
You got the touch.
Goddamn right.
You got the power. The hell's breaking loose. You'll be right in the eye of the storm. You got the heart. You got the motion. You know that when things get too tough, you got the touch.
Oh! Lay it down!
Woo!
So yeah, here we are at the game's first location. It's a fairly standard castle sort of setup. Pretty linear. I mean, you can explore a little bit, but it's largely fairly clear about where it wants you to go.
I was hoping for a more cliched setting. I guess koi ponds and cherry blossoms will have to do.
Yeah, he wisecracks a lot. Sometimes it's good, other times it makes very little sense, which kind of reminds me of Hard Reset, the last game from Flying Wild Hog, in that the writing was, well, it had good intentions, I think.
Pretty decent digs. Huh. I give it a 7 on the wangometer.
7 on the wangometer. RPS should start reviewing games with that.
Is this some kind of joke?
Mr. Mizuyaki, I presume.
Who are you?
You can call me $2 million. Where is the Nobitsura Kage?
Don't insult me. Who do you work for?
Mickey Mouse, Mickey Rourke, does it matter? This is business. You have the sword, I have the cash.
I was told that today I would meet the man behind all this. And yet, here you are. A walking threat.
Listen, I'm a collector myself. More into comic books, but same thing, right? This is a generous offer. I suggest you take...
As I explained to the ones who came before you, the sword is not for sale.
I'm leaving here with a Nobitsura Kage. I can pay for it with money, or I can pay for it with blood.
In that case, to business, Mr. $2 million.
My name is Lo Wang.
It's a good villain line.
Let's make a deal.
So yeah, this is some very early combat. Later on there are a lot more combos and even some like supernatural powers. But this will give you a pretty good idea of how absurdly violent it is, especially because these enemies are they're pretty much nothing. So I'm just gonna hack through all of them and show off how the combat works.
Wang! Come on! Sucker! Wang! Get off!
Notice right there the combat, or rather the damage, is location specific. So if I aim for an arm, it'll usually come right off, and a few other parts might as well. And yeah, you can hit them while they're down, pretty much whenever. There's also a dodge mechanic that I'm not particularly good at, but it's pretty powerful. Couple more guys. Not really hiding, but whatever. That was probably a physics glitch, but I'm not complaining. There goes his leg. That happened. Yeah, sometimes when you kill guys, it will go into slow motion, but only for their corpses, which is really amusing to watch.
Where are you going, Mizuyaki?
Like that.
Didn't you want to do business?
It's Lo Wang!
It is. Thank you for noticing. Something else to note. The environments are by and large pretty static, but there is some destructibility to them. Like this thing, I can break it, and I can break these jars. So, you know, it's not like Battlefield or anything, but it's good enough that it'll probably make battles more amusing. Also, the health system is pretty traditional. It's based in health kits, but there are a few powers you can learn later that will give you back some health. They're not auto-recharged though, so you have to use them at decent times, otherwise you'll get beaten up and probably take more damage than you heal back. Yes, I can dash.
Get up! It's Lo Wang! It's Lo Wang!
Right up the stairs. Because why not?
I've got you now.
meanwhile, at the plot...
You are a gifted warrior. Who do you work for?
I'm not telling you shit!
Oh, we're doomed! The amazing Lo Wang isn't gonna tell us shit!
What? The fuck?
Oh, wait. Silly me. You don't need to tell us shit. I can see it steaming between your ears. Oh, goodness, the ego on this one. Let's see, he lives in Akabari Heights, strings 4 roses Furtibank meat, collects comic books, and works for Orochi-sama?
How did you know?
Zilla, I was afraid of this.
Zilla Enterprises, the innovation people.
Talent that serves a poor master is a tree with rotted roots. It stands tall until kissed by the spring breeze. Bring him in. Take it off.
Where am I? What did you do to me back there?
Hush now. The grown-ups are talking. Turn Mr. Zilla back on, please. As I said, he is unharmed. A token of my goodwill.
The Nobitsu Akage. How much?
Why do you desire it so desperately? Have you located the others?
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
You are a powerful man, Zilla. But even the powerful must live with the facts. The sword will never be yours.
I will put it plainly. If you don't give up this sword, it puts you in grave danger.
What's happening?
I don't know.
No, I need more time. Everything is under control. This is too soon.
We need to leave. Now.
So yeah, now we're gonna skip forward just a little bit to some later chapters so that I can show off the combat, or what the combat ends up. Okay, so here we are at the point where you first start learning skills. I already have one that I got earlier from forming a pact with that crazy masked dude from that earlier cutscene. It's not a very long story, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, basically if I double tap to the right and then hold down the right mouse button, I can heal myself. Although right now I'm already beyond what it can do. But that's what that looks like. So now in order to progress over through this door, I need to learn another skill by way of using a karma point, which I picked up from that grotesque looking altar. So let's pop up in the menu. And so with karma points, I can learn things like sword skills. This first one that I get to unlock is Divider of Heavens, and basically it can one-shot pretty much any low-tier enemy. It won't work on bosses and things like that, but most other things it'll kill quickly. So let's learn that. And while we're here, just look around some of the other skills. Things like Demon Slayer, this is more passive, but yeah, it increases damage to lower demons, by 20, just basic stuff like that. So that's knowledge. There's also a movement tree, which increases various stamina-related stats, which is like what lets you sprint and dodge and things like that. Yeah, luck, just mind. Once again, these are mostly just stat boosts and things like that. There are also weapon upgrades that you can get with money, which you find scattered around the world. Right now I can't really get anything for my katana, but my revolver, which I got a little bit earlier, can get a barrel extender, which makes for better armor piercing. I can't afford it right now, but there's also an alternate fire mode, and I can buy ammo whenever I need it. And then lastly, and I don't have any key crystals right now, or chi crystals rather, so I can't unlock anything, but their powers as well in various trees. Everything from healing to offensive, long range like shockwave, just things like that. But anyway, let's go back to this. So yeah, double tap forward and then left mouse button, and that makes this happen. Kind of like Link charging up for an attack in Zelda. Bust the statue.
Useful trick.
And voila, the door works. And this is also the point where the game introduces a point system and starts grading your combat effectiveness. Now, you'll notice here that my combat effectiveness is remarkably low, so mock me all you want. And that gains you karma, which can then be used to unlock various skills and things. So you have incentive to perform well. Anyway, here's how not to perform well. Two and a half. Yeah. And here's a disembodied heart for some reason. I keep finding these and they flash, but I can't really pick them up, and nothing happens when I do anything to it. Anyway, moving on. Oh, this is another chance to highlight something about the game that I don't really like so much. So, like I said earlier, it's largely linear, which, you know, par for the course with this developer, at least so far, but it occasionally does want you to sort of like suss out where to go next, and it doesn't do the best job of pointing you in the right direction. There are a couple areas when I was playing through this demo where I got lost. This was one of them. I just couldn't quite figure it out. It's like, well, the door's locked. This was by far not the worst, but eventually you just have to realize, oh, go around this really weird corner. And like in most games, this would not be the path to progression. I mean, there are just some crates back there. It's like, why would I think to look in this area? And that kind of generally describes the level design in this game. It's a little bit obtuse. It's nothing that like ruined it for me, but there are a couple sections where I had to puzzle over where to go next for a lot longer than I would have liked to. But anyway, around this corner, and
Can't hide forever. Running away.
dudes with guns in a video game. Oh yeah, you'll notice point system kinda like Bulletstorm, in that it rewards you for doing different things. It likes variety. There's not quite as much variety at this stage, but it's also early in the game. So, now I'm kinda disappointed because I blew up these arcade machines on accident. The funny thing is they're references to other games that Devolver, the publisher, has worked on. So there's one for Hard Reset, there's also one for Serious Sam, things like that. It's pretty clever. Got a 3. And some giant keys. I always like giant keys. And yeah, now we're gonna jump forward a little bit again.
Try me.
All right. My name is Hoji.
Hoji.
But it's impossible. How did you must be the one that the prophecy spoke of.
Really? What else does the prophecy say?
Why, that the one will also believe any goddamn idiot thing you make up on the spot.
Get out of my car.
Okay, so now I'm up against some bigger enemies that are really troublesome. Yeah, he's able to pull me in and hurt me very badly. I'm so tired. Shockwave. I think I want to get out of there. Goodness. Super irritating. There we go.
Oh, fuck!
God damn it. He was not easy to deal with. Oh, he has friends. Left. Come on now. There you are. That and that. Really? I got 3 stars for that? That was abysmal. Yeah, so the grading scale might be a little wonky.
Is it me, or are you actually enjoying yourself?
Man has to take pride in what he does best.
You really put the ass in Mass Murderer.
That line pretty much summed up the entire game's sense of humor. If you dig that, well then, this is definitely for you. It's pretty silly. But it's actually interesting, because it is kind of drawing on that old school sense of humor, but not in like an overtly offensive, just generally horrible Duke Nukem Forever sort of way. It's still like worth the occasional chuckle, but it's more restrained. I mean, I guess you could argue that like the setting is kind of just generically Asian, but not really. I mean, the humor, though, has so far not really resorted to anything particularly lowbrow, but it's still pretty enjoyable. So bravo to Flying Wild Hog on that, because I can't really think of a game that's done that with a great deal of success. Huh. That is just all kinds of unpleasant. I mean, the drawing isn't even very good. What a shame. This time. And that's how we take care of that. Goodness. Hey, the heart went away. First death. So yeah, here's me trying that battle I died on again after walking back from the checkpoint, which wasn't too terrible. There we go. Still one left. He does not seem to be very interested in fighting. He sort of wants to stand there and growl menacingly at me. Huh. How to go about this. So that's what the heart does. You just squeeze it and they blow up. Not really sure why, but video games.
Even to your house where you keep your battle suit? Glad to see you're keeping your superhero complex in check.
Laugh all you want, but who's the guy with his sweet suit of armor ready to go in case of a zombie apocalypse? Turned out it's a demon apocalypse. Still, not a bad time to be a superhero.
Combat really is fantastic. The game just sort of uses its own environments to run around and got a fair number of options and lots of stuff constantly happening. It's also really mobile if you want it to be leap really far just by dashing forward and also jumping. That's a bit glitchy. Things get super chaotic, and all the while, swordplay can do something nice. And managing to take down boards like that is obviously satisfying. It's also super fast-paced.
I am unstoppable!
Yeah, character agrees with me. And those are just some fairly basic enemies. Again, let's just slip down here with my kill that are a bit interesting. But yeah, combat's definitely the glue that holds this whole thing together. The levels themselves are nice to look at, but nothing particularly interesting to navigate. But when you're thrown into a big arena with just the right mix of enemies, it's pretty magnificent. Definitely becomes something special at that point. So anyway, that's all I'm going to show you of Shadow Warrior. It's a pretty solid game overall from what I've played. There are a few semi-annoying enemy types. They're not that bad, just things that summon a bunch of, or rather they bring back a bunch of other things from the dead, so you have to keep dealing with a bunch of adds in addition to the main enemy, and it just takes a long time. Really, that's my main issue with the way the game is structured, is just that it sort of feels like it's trying to pad itself out a little bit too much, when it's got some pretty strong combat. It would suffice on its own. Beyond that, the humor is kind of all over the place. It's really good in some places and just kind of cheap in others. And overall, I've enjoyed what I've played of it, but, you know, it's nothing, it's blown me away.